Hello there, this is Wonderful speaking, and welcome back to another 2v2 on good old Warhammer 2. Probably, or more like hopefully for the last time in this channel, as long as Warhammer 3 doesn't suck ass again. Well, with Immortal Embers coming up. So yeah, today we're here in the Altar of Ultimate Darkness. You can see it right here, very beautiful Altar of Ultimate Darkness. And we have 4 armies on the field today. On my side, I'm playing as the Dawi, and we have an allied force of Wood Elves being led by Orion, or more like by the player of Hell I Don't Know. On the other side, we are facing a more wide force. We're very compact. They're like woo, all across the map. Of Greenskins and Lizardmen. The Greenskins being led by Azak the Slaughterer, or more like Slayer, yeah. Sorry about that. Well, the Lizardmen are being led by just Slan. Slan Mage Priest of High Magic, who is being played by the Ogre Bloke. Now, let's go into the army composition, shall we? Because I took a long time to make the army compositions of the last video. So, if you want to skip it, the timestamp is going to be right here. So, let's get into it. Over on this side, we have the allied Dawi and Wood Elf faction, force, and starting by my army, we have Torek Ironbro with 2 Taints as bodyguards. He has a lot of runes present today: Rune of Slowness, Rune of Speed, Rune of Rotten Ruin, Rune of Doom, Rune of Heart and Home for some immune to psychology, Forge Fire for some minus 15 armor, and of course Locus of Fire so that he can create little explosions every time he hits his fucking anvil. And I'm also bringing a front line of good old Dwarf Warriors, just cheap infantry, well, not necessarily cheap, reliable infantry that cannot do a lot of damage and cannot hold line, cannot take that much punishment, but they have a lot of armor and a lot of shields, so they at least will be able to win us some time. In the back, 3 crawlers with great weapons. I was playing against Greenskin, so I just thought that maybe they will be the armor piercing would be useful. Also, 2 Longbeards with great weapons in the back, some nice reserves. A unit of bolt throwers, some reliable, cheap, anti-large artillery in case I need to shoot at any monsters or dinosaurs, and 2 Slayers for any any shenanigans with dinosaurs or cavalry. Now, going over to the Wood Army of Hell I Don't Know, we have Orion over here with the Cloak of Ish, I think it is, yeah, Cloak of Ish, sorry, for some good old regeneration and 20% plus damage resistance, which is going to be very good to keep Orion in the fight. And I don't think he's bringing anything else special, but yeah. Oh, ignore that. And what else is he bringing? Oh, of course, the Spellsinger of the Lord of Shadows, going with the good old Power Stone for some increased power recharge rate and power reserves, and of course the Pit of Shades and the Penumbral Pendulum. Not a lot of buffs or debuffs, although I don't think there's a lot of buffs in the Lord of Shadows. I don't know. I don't use that very often. In regards to his army, he's bringing 3 units of Glade Guard, which I don't know how good they are. I don't play a lot of Wood Elves, but since they, elves are known for firing arrows, I'm going to just go under the impression that they are at least reliable at the very least. Now, in the infantry substance, he doesn't have that much infantry. He's bringing 3 War Dancers, some anti-infantry duo, blonde women, just here to, kick the shit out of everyone. And also the Blade Singers with some rare green swords, which, yeah, they do magical attack and armor piercing, and also anti-infantry. Let's have something here, Willing Dead, oh yeah, again, more damage. And lastly, in the front line at least, the Soats, some good old monstrous beasts that have anti-infantry, armor piercing, magical attacks, and of course, these little spells in here, let me see if I can get, yeah. Flesh of Stone and Air Blood, which are going to be very useful to keeping them alive, and other units probably. In the forward position, in the vanguard deploy, we have the Wood Scouts with Swift Shiver Shards, some more elite Wood Elf archers with magical ammunition, which are going to be very fun. They can also stalk. Yeah, can they? Yeah. So they might be able to be in the fight a lot longer, just hitting around there. And I forgot about this unit, the Altars Raiders, the Ranger renowned for their Rangers with great weapons, who are a very efficient unit, vanguard deployed, but sadly immediately cut off by Forest Goblin Spider Riders because they Vanguard deployed on top of each other. And in the back, just to finish off the Wheel of Army, we have the Great Stack Knights Vanguard deployed all the way over here, which are some of my favorite models in the game. Just to look at them, very majestic, very funny, armor piercing, shielded, and lastly the Glade Riders with spears. Some just faster and cheaper cavalry to complement the Great Stack Knights. Now that's all that's the Dawi Wolf army done. Now let's go over to the army of Slayer, playing as the greenskins. He is bringing Asak the Slaughterer over here with his Wyvern. He is bringing, let's see, Fate of Buna and Spirit Leech, just some very nice damage-based spells. He's also bringing Slaga Slashes for some extra melee attack and leadership around him. And lastly, let's see. Oh, yeah, there is Asak's Art Armor for some extra armor and melee defense in case he's in any pickle, let's say. Now, going over to his cavalry, he's bringing quite a fun cavalry force. Two Forest Goblin Spider Riders, which you can already see are on top of my Aldous Rangers, and 3 Forest Goblin Spider Riders with arrows. Archers. Yeah, they're archers. One of them being the Diff Creepers, the Regiment of Renown version of them, which are going to be very interesting to watch. They'll just have them mobility to just be peppering around, but let's see how much damage they actually do. Also, the Night Goblin Regiment of Renown, I don't know where their name isn't appearing, and the Rusty Arrows, the Night Goblin Archers Regiment of Renown, and over here more Night Goblins, now in Squids, the Squid Hoppers with armor piercing and anti-infantry and venom. Just going to be hopping around and probably crashing into my infantry and massacring a bunch of them. Also, a whole bunch of gobos, 4 units of goblins just here for some to make up the numbers, and 2 units of orc boys to make up the muscle. Also, speaking of muscle, he's also bringing 2 units of trolls, one being the normal trolls and the other being the stone trolls with some extra armor and some better stats overall, also the Skelly skin. He's also bringing some extra mobility in the terms of the Orcboard chariots to just break through my lines, although since I have melee defense in my inventory, I don't know if they're going to, not melee defense, charge defense against all. I don't know how effective they'll be. Also more Squid Hoppers, and I think that's it for the Lizardmen. Yes. Now going over to the Ogre Blocks army, playing as the Lizardmen. I repeated Lizardmen both times, didn't I? Yeah, forget about that. We have the Land Mage Priest over here in his little throne with Banishment, Shield of the Old Ones, Arcane on Forging, Tempest, which I don't see very often, so it will be nice to see because it's a very fun spell to watch. It's very dramatic. And Apotheosis, as well as Greater Arcane Conduit for some extra magic. Coming over to his front line, he has a mix of Star Wars warriors with spears. He's bringing 4 of those with red crested skinks, including the cohort of Sotak, the Regiment of Renown. There's 3 of them, but this is not really the meat of his army. The meat of his army is his range. He's bringing 2, and I repeat, 2 ancient salamanders. I don't see this unit very often, so it's definitely going to be fun to see them in action. I couldn't see how well they did in the battle, so yeah, but we'll be seeing them right now, and they can do fire attacks and armor piercing attacks, and also venom. I think that's venom. No, flammable. Okay, so yeah, they don't have a lot of range, but they can do quite a bit of damage with their shots. There's also 1 skin cohort, just a regular skin cohort, probably because he didn't have any other money. 2 skink skirmishers to make up the skirmishing, to support the skirmishing capabilities of this army. Some skin cohort Javis, and 4 units of chameleon skinks. So definitely going strong on the whole skirmishing factor. Actually, there's 3. 3 chameleon skinks. So he's definitely going strong on the skirmishing factor, going for that sweet range attacks. But anyway, that's enough. Let's go. Let's go into the battle. And as we can see there, it's already commencing over here with my Aldous Rangers getting caught instantly, but dealing a lot of damage to the Forest Goblin Spider Riders. But now another charge coming in, and just kind of devastating my guys. The Deepwood Scouts are trying to support with their magical attack, with their magical arrows, and they managed to rout this unit of Forest Goblin Spider Riders, but the other one is kind of just, kind of not being as cooperative. And now the Night Goblins are coming in to support, and that's probably going to be all for my Aldous Rangers. Definitely quite a waste of a unit, but I couldn't Yeah, you can. These things happen. You cannot always predict where the enemy will land or deploy. Meanwhile, we will just see them just doing their best, trying to fight, trying to run away, but getting caught again. And now the goblins are coming in to finish the job. Yeah, by your whiskers, but sadly that will not be enough. Over here, the green skins by commanded by Slayer are starting to hop in. We have a bit of the a feint by the Spider Goblin archers, trying to hit my Slayer. I mean, not charge on my Slayers, but just baiting them into and doing a retreat. Over here, more range attacks by the Force Goblin Spider Riders, but they're just getting shot to pieces by both my Crawlers and the Blade Guard of I don't know. Yeah, they're just getting. Oh yeah. That's a massive of them. Yep, and obviously they're going to retreat because that's not a good engagement for them. Over here, the King Skirmish is already taking very big amount of damage from my Crawlers. Already losing like a 6 of their health, but they're getting a good old surround over here, and they're just going to be able to shoot a lot. Oh, and the Jabbies are coming up, and yeah, they're killing a bunch of my Crawlers, just a whole bunch of concentrated firepower up on here. If we go over here, the Altered Rangers have finally routed. My Rangers are just getting shot and shot by the Spider Goblin Riders. And now Spirlich coming up. Yeah, that's not going to be very good for the Slayers. He just wants to bring those Slayers down. Meanwhile, the Lizardmen are starting to come around the flank. Hell, I don't know, bringing his Blade Singers and rotating his Blade Guard to try to deal with this, but I don't know how well that will be. We'll have to see over here. My Crawlers are already, yeah, they're just getting eviscerated. Look at that, already have a third of its health gone, and a charge by the Gobos over here. Probably just trying to tie up my numbers, and Squid Hoppers also coming in, but that charge defense is just going to stop them. Oh, but well, a few of them managed to squeeze through the line and get into my Tane, but more importantly, my Crawlers. Just kind of stopping them from shooting. Over here, the Blade Singers are getting shot to a lot by the Commander's Kings. I don't know why he decided to pursue them, but that was definitely not a good choice. He's just wasting a lot of hit points over here. They're just getting free shots with their little blowpipes into this elite infantry. Over here, they're getting starting to receive some incoming fire from the Blade Guard. And Orion also coming over there. Coming over to the rest of battle, we had some Orc-Board Chariots trying to break through and doing it very effectively. Now retreating, and some Trolls. Are these Strong Trolls? No, they're the normal Trolls. Some more fire coming into the Blade Singers. Yeah, they're just losing a lot of health over there. There are very intelligently, smartly retreating, and now that's Ancient Salamanders are coming into range, hitting Orion and doing quite a bit of damage for only one shot. As King Skirmishers and Chameleons are coming into range now, trying to probably hit Orion or my Longbeards, more like my Longbeards by the looks of it, or maybe just the Blade Singer still. And over in the center we just have a huge melee. The Soats and the Dwarf Warriors are just looking it out, with the Green Skin armies just trying to keep them at bay. While over here, oh no, the Deepwood Scouts are just getting cut off by the Forest Goblin Spider Riders. That's quite a big loss for Hell, I don't know. That's a very elite unit that was doing quite a bit of work with their magical arrows, but now they're just getting run out of the fucking field. Look at that, they're just being sent flying. Coming over to this side, Orion is starting to take a lot of losses. He's materializing some of his but oh yeah, it's because of the Ancient Salamanders. He's just apparently focusing on Orion and starting to pile up that damage. Over here, the Skin cohort trying to get into the Glade Guard, who are getting quite badly beaten by the Skinks and the Chameleons with their blowpipes, actually beating the Wood Elves in the skirmishing game. Quite surprising, if I say so. Although, to be honest, they're concentrating their fire into this place, so it's kind of to be expected. The Wardlands is now coming in to support to allow the Glade Guard to retreat, and Orion coming into more and more fire from the Ancient Salamanders, and probably now from the King Skirmishers. Now the Lizardmen are coming in there Saros Spears and their cohort of Sotek. Around the flank they go. Over here we have more fighting of the Dwarf Warriors trying to hold the line, but against this amount of armor piercing, I don't know how much longer they will be able to hold. More fighting over here, the Saros Spears, and over in the center, the fight has been going over to our favor, but by the looks of it, we are now just going to have to fight the Saros, who are going to be quite more tough than the mere goblins. In this side, the Stone Trolls managed to break through my lines, getting into my crawlers. That's not good at all. But over here, it appears that the Slayers are getting hit hard by the archers, have managed to save the Digwood scouts and destroy the Spire Riders, which is quite nice of them because they now are able to continue shooting. Those Slayers, even though they didn't have a lot of health, they managed to do quite a big impact over there. Meanwhile, over here, just more flanking by the Lizardmen, trying to get into the cookie jar, trying to get into the crawlers, into the vultures, who I don't think they're shooting at anything. I am not seeing them shoot, but anyway. In the middle, the fight is still going on. The Spire just probably picking up the swords. Ruin of Blood and Ruin coming up. Shield of the Old Ones trying to support his units, and Orion getting dangerously close. Bit of Shades coming into the Red Crested Skink. Yeah, that's quite bad for the Lizardmen, losing a social healthy unit to a spell. But over here, they appear to be doing quite good. Killing Orion, Rune of Doom being popped into him to cause fear and some extra melee damage, but I don't think he wants to be in the field much longer. He's getting dangerously low. Oh yeah, here I see his. It appears that the Chameleon Skinks and the Skink Skirmishers are now concentrating fire on him, and they are dropping him dangerously so fast. Look at that! From 1,000 to 600. You know? Oh god, oh no, he's going to die here, isn't he? Oh no! Oh, and he dies to the blowpipes of the Lizardmen. The Ogre Block doing quite a sniping there. Just the cornerstone of the Lizardmen. I mean, not the Lizardmen. The Wolf army just getting destroyed now. That's going to be quite a big blow to the Lizardmen, to the Wolves. But meanwhile, the War Dancers losing to the Orboys. They've been fighting a lot, so it's kind of unavoidable. And over here, the cohort of Sardek facing two Taints and the Longbeards with great weapons. Not the most smart of engagements. I probably should have kept them on reserve. And now more Red Crested Skinks are coming in. Ra has been popped off, but the Orcs don't appear to be having a lot more melee infantry. Azak is kind of bunching up my vultures, trying to stop them from firing. Maybe they were fireballing him, but I don't see any damage coming his way. Meanwhile, over here, the remains of my Dwarf Warriors still trying to fight, but now charging into Azak, who is just going to have a field day up on them, just allowing his Wyvern to just eat them up. Over here, it seems that the Stone Trolls have finally been routed from the field, and the Slayers and this quite healthy force of War Dancers are now in a position to probably start the Rusty Arrows and just come over to this flank and start rolling it up. Meanwhile, on the right flank, it's still collapsing. We're trying our best to keep the fight going, but it's not going well. And now it looks like the Ancient Salamanders have switched targets and now coming for Torek, who is engaging some Red Crested Skinks, but his Taints are going to free them from his responsibilities over here. Over here, the Longbeards still fighting, still holding on, but are now about to get surrounded by the Saros Spears, which is probably not going to be good for them. Yeah, you can see their health just vanishing in this fight. More Ancient Salamander firing coming up, but not being that efficient. Over here, Azak's hard armor being popped off. It appears that I am focusing fire with my crawlers upon him, so he probably just wanted to the extra armor, since I don't think crawlers have armor using the missiles. And now the Orgos are just probably going to come over and eat them. Meanwhile, in here, the War Dancers are coming, trying to catch up to the Rusty Arrows. You probably don't need both of these units for this. You can probably send one of them over there. Meanwhile, over here, I'm just wasting my Slayers, just keeping them over here, not doing anything. That's quite a waste in such a critical time. Oh, it looks like we have a spell going over here. Let's see what's this. Oh, changing sides. More ancient salamander fire. Oh, and it's a quite a nice banishment coming from the overflow. Just, oh yeah, just deleting the unit of followers and doing quite a bit of damage to this second unit. That was quite nasty. Meanwhile, Slayer being very good with his Orc Boys, trying to catch my crawlers. Thankfully, I still had a unit of Longbeards in reserve, along with some quite exhausted Dog Warriors to try to hold them into place, but for some reason, I'm not retreating my crawlers, which is probably not a good idea. In the right flank, what remains of our forces are still trying to hold on. Blade Singers falling off the Orc Boys. The remains of my Dwarf Warrior forces just falling to fucking skins. That's quite shameful. And over here, my Lombards with great weapons finally succumbing to the cohort of Sotek. The only thing that is still holding this flank is Torek and his Stains, but he probably wants to start retreating from that. Over here, Asak is starting to get quite low, trying to get the Blade Singer Spirit Lich coming here while she's using Power Stone, probably to get more magic rolling. But yeah, this is not looking quite good. Let's see what else are the Wardens doing. They're just chasing Forest Goblin Spire Riders. You're not going to catch them, man. You probably just want to go over here and crash into their backside, but okay. Another shield of the old one. Storm is starting to get quite low. Arcane of Forging coming into him and doing a bit of damage, probably not much. But yeah, he's starting to suffer a bit of damage. It looks like the backside has been compromised by a unit of goblins and Night Goblin Spirit Hoppers who immediately retreat after the charge. Yeah, the goblins appear to be doing quite well against the Glade Bird. These puny elves simply cannot fight a freaking goblin, which is quite shameful. Over here, Orc Boys just chasing up some Dog Warriors, probably not the best choice, but yeah, I mean, by this point, there's probably not a lot else they could be doing. Crawlers still shooting into Asak, trying to bring him down, but they're about to feel the pain. They are about to feel that pain. Look at that, and oh yep, they just send them flying, and now the Spire Riders, yep, more flying for these poor crawlers. Over here, the Taints, Torek was getting caught by the skin cohorts, but the Taints managed to do their duty and save the Lord, and now our Rune of Rot and Ruin coming up and doing quite a little bit of damage over into the skin cohorts, making this fight easier for the Taints, although this one went flying, which is quite funny if I say this. Quite funny, I have to say. Our boys over here just not doing anything. The Greenskins have been doing a majority of the fighting, I feel, against my infantry, and now they're getting exhausted, but they still have a lot to do. This unit of Longbeard not doing anything, just fighting some goblins. And over here, the Soats. The Soats are finally fighting Flesh of Stone and Rune of Doom, popping them off, keeping them to fight longer and allowing them to do more damage, but it's for naught. The Saurus Warriors and the Trolls just rolling them out of the field, and meanwhile my Slayers are still doing fucking nothing. They probably will be having useful against those Trolls. I don't know what I was doing with the Slayers, but nothing useful, I can tell you that. Although it appears that the same can be said by these Wardens, one of them just coming all the way over here, still chasing these Forest Goblin Spire Riders, but that's not a good user of such a unit. And over here, one of them appears to have been shot to pieces, which is quite unfortunate, as he was still very healthy, and as you can see, they did not do a lot of any actual damage. Meanwhile, over here, it's starting to converge. Everything is starting to converge. Torek fighting to the last, with just smiting his Anvil of Doom, trying to kill the Death Creepers, just doing what he can. Meanwhile, his Stains are fighting the Ancient Salamanders, who appear to have run out of ammo. Yeah, they have, but they did their duty. You cannot blame. They're going to bunch into some Taints, and one of them is sadly retreating. Quite shameful. Quite shameful. That's quite a shameful 10. Deadly Onslaught still popped off, and meanwhile the other one is also going to retreat, even though he also had Deadly Onslaught, which is quite bad. Torek is still going strong, still trying to do this, but it's not looking good. It's not looking good. The trolls coming in, an infantry fighter coming over here into the Saurus, trying to get to Torek, but he's now getting hit by the trolls. Spirit Leech, but also Rune of Speed for some extra melee attack. He's doing his best, but he's just losing. Still killing that Emerald Doom, still trying to win. Killing a troll. That's a nice victory. Killing a troll. My Slayers are finally fighting, but they're just fighting Saurus Warriors. They want to be over here helping him against the Spider Riders and the Trolls, but it appears that Troy can do it by himself. He already killed 2 Trolls. 2 whole Trolls. That's impressive. That's impressive. Things are still just getting bunched up by the ancient salamanders, but it looks like it is going to be a loss for me, and hell, I don't know. Torek is doing whatever he can, fighting to the last. His Thanes have left him. His infantry is not doing anything useful, and one of the Thanes has finally fallen in battle with the way it looks of it. Yeah, by this point he's just being as stubborn as a dwarf. That's Land Mage Priest coming in to try to finish him off, but Torek is still not surrendering, still hitting Samuel of Doom. The Longbeard's coming in, trying to finish up the Land Mage Priest, but now getting charged by the Salamander, and apparently being saved from the banishment spell, because all of them were pushed all the way over here, but they still took quite a bit of damage. And it looks like that's it. Torek has finally run away. The Longbeards are destroyed. The Slayers are still fighting, but they're not going to be able to win this battle. Not against this big of a force. And yeah, that was it. Let's just look at the Slayers, and this, also some Slayers just trying to 1v1 the Land Mage Priest, but probably going to die. More Slayers just trying to bring down the Lord of Prisonment, trying to bring some sort of redemption from their lack of efficiency this battle, but it appears that they're not going to get it, getting shot by all sides by the Skinks and the Rusty Arrows, and just getting destroyed. They're nude. They don't have any armor. They're just getting peppered down, and now they're just getting annihilated. And that's it. That was it. Valiant defeat. I don't know about that. I would rather call it a decisive defeat. As you can see, there were still quite a lot of units. Although we did deal a good amount of damage, so maybe call it a valiant defeat. How about we go over to the end results now, shall we? Well, what can I tell? Troy doing what he could, 1,700 damage value, but he was never a melee lord. To be fair, the Thanes not doing good. The Dwarf Warriors not doing good as well. Same with the Longbeard, sadly, and at least one unit of crawlers doing beyond duty, doing 1,200 damage value. Same with one of the unit of Slayers, although this one just got. Probably the one was the one who was shot to pieces by the at the very start of the game. Sad that all the Rangers didn't do anything, and for some reason I didn't use my crossbow, my giant crossbow or anything as well. Going over to Hell, I don't know something the Orion Pro. Yep, not doing anything because he was shot into Hell at the very start. Same with the Blade Singer. I mean, not the Blade Singer, the Spell Singer, and the Warlords as well. Yeah, the Blade Singer as well, not doing anything. I cannot tell how well the Glade Guards did, as I don't have the DLC, so I don't know how much they cost. The D-Wood Scouts doing a bit better, but still not enough. Now that I'm thinking about it, I never saw his cavalry die, but by the looks of it, they didn't accomplish anything. The Soats still doing quite decently. Going over to that Ogre Bloke, a fair amount of damage into his Land Mage Priest, a good amount into his Saur Warriors. They didn't die, so they were still able to do more. And looking over to his skirmishers, not going that hard into damage with the Chameleons and the Skinks, but meanwhile looking over his Salamanders, 1,800 and 1,600, quite good, especially for sniping lords. Azak doing quite a bit at 300. His goblins doing surprisingly well, now that I think about it. Probably because they managed to get into the back lines. The Orc boys not doing that much. The Rusty Arrows doing surprisingly well. They just managed to shoot the entire game. And as you can see, not a lot of remarkable stuff over in this side. Oh yeah, that was it. Quite a quite an interesting use of the ancient salamanders. I didn't know you could use them for sniping lords. But they appear to be quite accurate in killing Orion. So yeah, if you take a a lesson from this, is that ancient salamanders are good for sniping lords. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and yeah, that was quite a cool battle. Tomorrow we'll be doing. You'll probably be seeing this video tomorrow once uh, Immortal Empires has been released. So yeah, I'll be streaming tomorrow, or well, today for you, or maybe later for you. So if you want to hop in, the link will be in the description. Anyway, this has been Full speaking, and I hope to see you next time. Have a good day.